Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I'm pretty sure you've done this before. I don't remember everybody. I do so many. But I'd just like to remind you this is not an exact science. They never waste a message. So if something doesn't make sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what he's talking about. He's, excuse me, he's popping right off about something about a little girl on a little red tricycle. And it looks like an older tricycle, more like something I had when I was younger. Doesn't look like a newer one, but it could be. He could just be showing me a picture of something that I had, but it's red and the front part that goes down to the wheel is white, if that makes any difference. Could be exact, might not be. I know that's a little vague. It's just the way they show it. It's totally up to him. It it almost I usually ask them to not come up with a memory that where you're so young that you may not remember it, but it's like he's standing on the porch. I think he's watching you. I think this is a memory. Not 100% sure about that. You could have a small child now that has a red tricycle, red Hot Wheel, whatever they are, whatever they have now. Or it feels more like a memory, but you're look too little to remember this unless there could be maybe he took a picture of you or he talked about it. I don't know. It's his ball game. He comes up and he lays his head on my shoulder. And he's laying it on my left shoulder. It doesn't have to be the left. I'm not sure how you will feel this. Everybody feels it different, so you're not going to feel it the same way I feel it. But it's almost just like a little pressure. You might feel as what feels like his hair brushing up against the side of your face, like that tickle that won't come off, or you could feel some warmth, you could feel some tingling, you could feel just something a little different on this side than the other side. That it's the pressure of their energy. I don't know if that would be exactly the right way to say it, but their presence, their so he says he does this every so often. So just be aware if you feel something different on one side, that's him. Just bringing you some peace and love. He says in warmth. I don't know where you live. It's chilly. Well, it's going to be nice today, but it's going to be snowing again this weekend in Kansas. And he says, how do you want to remember him? Do you want to remember him as being distant and not there enough because he was working too much and doing things like that? Or do you want to remember him like he's trying to do now and laying his head on your shoulder and bringing you some peace and love? He said, again, he says, how do you want to remember him? It's up to you. And he's showing you like stomping your feet. You know how a little kid does. He's not showing you as a little kid, but you know how a little kid does, and they stomp their feet when they're mad. Go, I want my way. He's showing you doing that about something. I want what I want, and I want it right now. I feel like it's something connected to him. Like maybe you want him back, or maybe wanted him to spend more time with you, or maybe you wanted to be there when he left. There's something that you wanted, and I want what I want, and I want it right now. And you're stomping your feet and throwing a little kid tantrum, basically. This is the way he's showing it. So he says you need to kick back, You need to relax. And you need to let it come with patience. So you might be talking about something now. I will see you again in time, not now. But now he's shown himself. It doesn't have to be these exact rooms, but it's like he's in the kitchen and you're in the living room and the doorway. And he's got his hands on the doorway and he's peeking out. It's like his head's like peeking around the corner. So either you have or you're going to see him, even though you just said you're not going to see him for a while. You're not going to be with him for a while, should I say. He's with you, though. Are you confused yet? I am, but I always am. So you'll see him in your peripheral vision. This is usually your peripheral vision. I include this up here because if I'm working at my computer and I see somebody walk by and I look up and then you don't see them and you think, oh, that was my imagination. No, it's not. I don't know why it works that way, but it does. So just trust when you see that. You think you see someone for a second, then you turn and look, because they do it to me too, and I can see them, but it still works that way for me. So no, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, say, hi, Dad, love you, glad you popped in. Anything, just acknowledge him so that he knows that you know that that was him. He's got Grandma with him. I think it's his grandma. You may not have known her. Maybe he talked about her. His grandma that he loved very much. So that might, I don't know if he's going to describe her so you know which one it is, if it makes any difference. A little bit plump. Got an apron on, but a lot of times that just means they like to cook. But back in the day, that's what all women did, I think. Pretty much had to. Don't know why he's bringing somebody through that's so far back that you may not know them. But he wants you to know that she's there. A little bit plump, but full of a whole lot of love for him. I just want you to know I'm okay. And I want you to be okay. And I want you to be okay with the way things went. And I want you to be okay with who you are. He grabs his hair and he kind of pulls on it like, ah! It's hard to be okay right now in your world. He says, I know things are tough, but they are going to get better. And he points up, like pointing at the Creator, pointing at who. If the word God bothers you, it doesn't matter. There is some type of Creator, God, Buddha. I don't care what. I don't care if you call him George. George could be a girl. There is something higher power. So he's pointing at that like somehow he knows that it's all going to be okay because it's going to work out. Good grief, I hope so. It's getting ugly. He says, so let things play out. I don't know if he's talking about life in general or things you're doing in general. It feels like a bigger thing when he's doing all this. Let all this play out and you'll see the reason for it later. Yeah, well, right now I don't see any rhyme or reason for all this shit we're going through. It's been tough, hasn't it? He says, how are you going to handle it? You're going to handle it with true grit and determination, just like you always do, just like we always have. And like he's proud of himself, like he helped instill that in you to be tough. He's not saying on what subject, though. I don't know if he's talking about the whole thing he was talking about, or if he's talking about something else. He's being a little vague. It's up to him to come across with it. I can't twist his arm. He's talking about a campfire. Like I said, I don't know where you live, but we're not having any campfires around here right now. It's too cold outside. But I did have my electric fireplace on the other day. Maybe you have one of those. Maybe that's what he's talking about. The smell of that smoke. They love sounds, smells, electronics. It's so easy for them to manipulate. Well, I hate using the word manipulate, but for them to interact with. How's that? So if you get a smell of campfire smoke, and you can be in your car, you can be in the store, you can be outside in your house, doesn't matter. Don't think your house is on fire. Just give it a second. Again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. He's been popping in and out. There's a little one, a little boy. He's ruffling his hair. Oh, I hate to try to guess this child's age. I stink at names and ages. I'm going to say roughly 6. We'll stretch that out. Could be 4. I don't know. You'd think after doing daycare in my home for 25 years, I'd know how old a kid looks. He talks to this little boy, but the little boy's looking down. He's got his hand on top of his head. He did kind of ruffle the hair a little bit. I think it kind of irritated the little boy. All children, well, as far as I know, almost all children anyway, and animals, especially cats and dogs, because that's the ones they usually show me, can see them and hear them, no problem. Until kids get to be about 9 or 10 years old and they go, okay, I need to shut this down and shut up because people are going to think I'm crazy if I tell them I see somebody that's not here. So whoever this little boy is, be aware of that. But he's looking down. It's not like he's looking up and acknowledging. It's not like he's interacting with your dad. But he knows he's there. Keeps looking at your dad's shoes. The little boy keeps staring at your dad's shoes. Did your dad wear an odd shoes, different shoes than most guys? I don't know why he's staring at his shoes. Have a pair of your dad's shoes. Something about your dad's shoes. And this little boy is like fixated on them. Maybe the little boy has a fetish with shoes. My grandson does, and he's 20, and he's had it his whole life. Okay, he's talking about popcorn. Could be that you just ate some last night, that you were thinking about eating some, that you just bought some, that you used to sit there and eat popcorn with him. I really hate it when they're so vague. You could find a piece on the floor. You could be walking through the store and find a piece, and you can also smell it. And it be just like the smoke smell. You might get a whiff of it. I wake up sometimes and smell chocolate chip cookies and still haven't figured out who it is because they don't step forward. But it makes me hungry. Okay, now he's singing the song. I don't know how old you are. I don't creep anybody's Facebook page because it messes up what little logical mind I have. I don't want to know anything ahead of time. He's singing When You Wish Upon a Star. And that was, of course, Walt Disney. And Jiminy Cricket used to sing that. And that's back when I was a kid. So I don't know if you would know that, but go Google that song because he's still singing it and then he hums it a little bit. So you may have heard this song recently. You may hear it in the near future. There's something in that song that he keeps singing it over and over. And that song always makes me want to cry because it makes me think of my dad. And he keeps getting to the part, and your dreams come true. Your dreams come true. Your dreams come true. So if there's something you've been dreaming about doing, or some going, or whatever, or you wished upon a star lately, um, they love to help and they love to nudge you into at least taking baby steps towards it, even if it seems something wild and wacky. And just even if you just take baby steps, it gets you closer to that point. If you can't make the big leap and there's something really in your heart that really make your heart sing and you really want to do it, it could be learning to stand on your head. It doesn't matter. Taking dance classes, paint classes, doesn't matter. Take those baby steps and ask him for help. They cannot override your free will choice. You have to ask them and then you have to allow for whatever they bring forward. So I'm just going to pick, let's say you want to take a dance class and ask your dad for help. And then here in the near future, you could be on Facebook or whatever and boop, or a poster even pops up and goes, dance class, 3 blocks from you or something like that. Really cheap. Just ask. So, like I said, I'm not saying it's dance. Okay, sometimes I get the nudge to pull a card. So he wanted me to pull a card, and these are my release cards. These are my favorite because they tell us something we need to let go of. And I let him tell me when to stop. So the one he picked was surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. It's kind of like what we were just talking about. I'll put it up there so you can read it. That's weird because the light looked brighter. Must be because I'm blocking out the window. Anyway, surrender obsessive thinking. Turn it over to spirit. Ask them for help. Ask your dad for help. And then let them bring forward the best solution for your problem. You'd be amazed how that works. But you have to be willing to ask for help and then accept. Like, they could bring me the richest, most gorgeous man in the world, and I can go, no, I want this guy over here that digs ditches. Nothing wrong with the guy that digs ditches. I mean, we have to have those people. Just I said no to a lot of stuff, and they go, Rhonda, what are you doing? We gave you good shit, and you're saying no. Yeah, one of my guides is thumping on my head right now. Yep, we told you. So ask them for help. Don't beg, don't, just, I'd like help with this. Show me the best way. Bring me somebody to help me along this way or to do whatever. And then just kind of let it go and then see what comes forward. And then you choose whether you want to say yes or no. Okay, this is going to sound really weird because I don't know why he's showing it to me this way. But he's showing me like you're looking out the window out on the sidewalk. But what I'm seeing looks like a cartoon character. Doesn't look like a real person. What it looks like, it's kind of like Lucy from Peanuts, from Snoopy. And she's got a leash and she's got a dog on it. And he's kind of, not little bitty, but he's maybe medium sized, slick haired. He looks like a cartoon too. And he's white. He's got spots, big spots on him, and he's fat. So not sure where we're going with that. So I'm not going to elaborate on it because just keep that in mind. I have no idea what this means, but I have to say it if he shows it. Well, I say anything that they show or say within reason, as long as they don't get out of hand. Some of them can get brr. So, and the dog doesn't look like Snoopy. He's talking about his cologne. You either have smelled it or you're going to smell it. And like, just like anything else, you could be home, in the store, in your car, it doesn't matter where you're at. You get that whiff, or you have a bottle of his cologne. Or you have something with that cologne smell on it. I feel like he's been gone long enough that he wouldn't still have something with this actual smell on it. I don't know. He's not elaborating. Okay, well, this is a little weird too. He says, and he's showing like if I was scratching my butt. He says, aren't you tired of scratching that same old itch? That same old itch. You just keep scratching the same old itch. Aren't you tired of it? It's kind of sounds like he's saying, are you stuck in a rut? Are you stuck in a rut? Aren't you tired of the same old same? He's wanting me to scratch my butt again. Good grief. Um, same old rut, same old rut, same old thing. Change it up, fix it. Something about your routine being in a rut. So let me just say, if you drink coffee every morning, try going and grabbing a tea or what's those things my granddaughter, mocha things from McDonald's that my granddaughter loves. Frappe. Or instead of eating tomato soup, eat chicken noodle soup. Some little bitty switch up to your routine. And he says, once you do that, then do another one. Switch it up. Make sure it goes up, not down, or even Steven. I mean, like soup, chicken noodle soup, tomato, be kind of the same thing. He says, you got to switch something up. He says, you're going to get bored to tears. He kind of said it that way. You'll be bored to tears. Switch it up just a little bit, just something, anything. Boy, I'm ready to, if the weather get a little nicer. Time to rock and roll. Okay, he also says you need to do something like I've been doing. Ooh, nobody needs to copy me. He's scary. We have a new place here in town. They offer things like dermaplaning. I don't know if you know what that is on your face. I'd never done it before. I went and did it. Gonna get my eyebrows colored and laminated and whatever the hell all that is. Gonna try it. Put my lashes back on. Color my hair again. I gotta find her, get an appointment with her. Maybe not those exact things, but something for yourself that will perk you up. Something, he says, to get you out of the doldrums. So we're going back to being stuck in the rut. Doing something a little different, a little perkier for yourself. My daughter gave me all kinds of bubble bombs and baths and soaps and stuff for Christmas. Something different, something just for me. Um, I needed a pick me up. He said something along that line. It's just for you. Maybe you want to go get a pedicure. My granddaughter and I just went and did one together. That was tons of fun. And then went to lunch. Something along that line. Doesn't have to be a beauty product. He says, yes, it does. Okay, so it's something along that line. It will just give you a little pep in your step and make you feel a little better, make you feel prettier. You know, and even if these things don't make me look any better because I'm getting old and saggy, I still feel a little better. I don't usually do these things. I don't wear makeup. I don't know why I'm elaborating on me, but I'm like a country girl. But it was almost like a spring cleaning for myself is what I'm doing. No, it's not for anybody else. As somebody says, you gonna wear those lashes? Because I've had them before. You gonna wear those lashes to go fishing? And they're lash extensions. They stay there. And the girl that puts them on says, you tell them you're doing this for you and nobody else. That's exactly what he's getting at. You're doing it for you, nobody else. So go get your nails done. Anything that's for you and you alone. He says, because you as women give up way too much of yourself. And people think you're so strong that they don't need to give back to you. So give back to yourself. And one of the first things I learned when I started doing this work is how to replenish me, because if I deplete myself, I can't help anybody else. So like when I had the COVID last month, I couldn't do anything because I was so depleted. I had to sleep for me. I had to rest for me, and I still am. I'm still kicking my ass. It's been a month and a half. But so I've been dragging, and you have to replenish yourself is what he's getting at. So find some little way, no matter how quirky it is. If it's going to do yoga, do it by watching a YouTube video. Who cares? That shit hurts though. It hurts my knees. And I did the old ladies version of it, and I got up the next day and thought, oh my God, there's things in my body that hurt I didn't know I had. I thought this stuff was easy. Any of that. He's stressing it very, very, very strongly. He says, I love you. I love you more than you know. Don't don't ever doubt, don't ever forget it. Don't ever doubt me. You are my sunshine. Keep on keeping on. And if you call, he says, if you call on me, I will be there. Now I'm hearing the Jackson 5 song, I'll be there. Hang on, see what ALEXA says. Okay, I just had ALEXA play I'll Be There by the Jackson 5. My whole body got covered with goosebumps. And I only played the first verse. Go Google that song. YouTube it, however you want to do it. Read the words while you're listening to it. Because where there is love, you can bring salvation back. Wow, I've been preaching that for the last few years. Love is the highest form of energy there is. He says, call my name. I'll be there. I'll be there. But you got to have the love to bring the salvation back. If every single person in the world would figure out that love vibration is up there and they got to get rid of that heavy negative vibration, we wouldn't have all the shit we've got right now in this world. None of it. That's my personal dream. That's actually kind of what the song kind of says too. In my head, in my world. So think about what you can do for your part to bring salvation back, to bring love back. And he says, call my name, I'll be there. You would be surprised. I promise you 1,000% they can hear you, they can see you. All you have to do is call their name. You may not feel them, you may not hear them or see them. They will be there if you need them. Again, he says, I love you. Don't doubt that. And he's kind of saluting, but it's kind of a doop. Not like a real military salute. I'll see you around. And with that, he's leaving. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. I think I'm finally perking back up a little bit. Ah. Oh, good grief. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.